All right, this is Scarlett Pimpernel. I've got some election updates for today. In DC, Intel experts are claiming that the U.S. was hit by a quote-unquote digital Pearl Harbor. Hackers have gained access to an agency network that maintains the nuclear stockpile, apparently, and SolarWinds is associated with the attack. So we're going to look at that more. In Michigan, Gateway Pundit is requesting the video footage of 3:30 a.m. TCF Center Detroit ballot Biden dump. In Georgia, an Atlanta Journal and Constitution reporter has found that former Kemp staffer Jared Thomas left Kemp to work for Dominion as a paid lobbyist. And that was apparently instrumental in Georgia getting a $107 million contract with Dominion for those voting systems to be put in all counties in Georgia. In DC again, Representative Mo Brooks from Alabama and 18 colleagues in the House are requesting election fraud hearings before January 6th, which is the day of the Electoral College vote. In Alabama, Senator Elect Tom Tuberville is saying he may back efforts to challenge the Electoral College vote, and we'll look at why that's important. So here's this first story. The U.S. was hit by a massive cyber attack of nightmare proportions, and this comes from cyber expert Morgan Wright, who was on Lou Dobbs last night. So Morgan Wright, he's the former senior State Department advisor and cybersecurity expert, and he discussed the cyber attack on that show. He's saying that this is a prelude to war. So, but I wanted to look at this. So apparently the hackers inserted malware into SolarWinds software updates. So there's that name again. And the day before yesterday, I talked to you all about SolarWinds and its connection to China, Hong Kong, the deep state, and Dominion voting machines. So it's interesting that this malware was inserted into that exact company. So that insertion of malware has impacted many companies in the US, including the industrial military complex. And this is what Lou Dobbs said on the show. He said he doesn't remember the cyber community ever saying an attack was of grave, grave danger, and that the Department of Homeland Security has no capacity to stop it. And Wright, in response to that, he said, anytime you call a meeting on Saturday in the National Security Council, it's serious. This is almost like a prelude to war. Not only were the government agencies hit, we got Lockheed Martin, that is a defense company based out of Colorado. We've got Wright. This very well could have started after the 2018 election. This is Russia's way of getting back in the game. They attacked SolarWinds. The updates weren't secure, but they contained a malicious payload. It could be hundreds, it could be thousands of companies. So I think this is really weird that he's bringing Russia into all this when the connections between China and SolarWinds have been established. I also think it's weird that there was a raid of SolarWinds in headquarters in Austin earlier this week, but we'll see what comes of all this. So, good story. Gateway Pundit is requesting the 3:30 a.m. TCF Center footage of Detroit's Biden ballot dump. So this is from the New York Times. Somebody has gone back and looked at the time-stamped entries from Michigan on the day, early morning, November 4th. And what they found was at 6:31 a.m., there was a vote dump of 149,772 votes. Biden got 134,886 votes, which was 96% of the batch. And then apparently after that vote dump, Trump's edge dropped within distance for Biden, because earlier on the election night, Trump had the lead in Michigan. So some of the things that they want this video footage to settle is how many people were in the TCF center, and is there any validity to the excuse that they were past COVID capacity? That's apparently what they told the Republican observers on the night of the 3rd and the 4th. Why did so many Democrat poll workers bring in suitcases? Did they hide illegal ballots in them like their colleagues in Georgia? Were the machines networked? Can we see the modem and the wires networking the tabulating machines, as described by Patrick Holbeck, who brought in the 3:30 a.m., 4 a.m. ballots? Was it, as the Republicans have said they witnessed, or was it food camera equipment, as the media claimed? Shane Trejo and Jose Aliaga say it was ballots. Was there any security keeping people out of the building who did not have credentials to get in? Were there other unexplained ballot dumps past the 8 p.m. deadline for ballots, as several other witnesses have alleged? And was Nick, the co-owner of Dominion voting machines, present on site, as Melissa Carone has said? Now, a lot of these questions are overlapping with the questions that the Michigan legislature is asking, and the Michigan legislature has requested that footage as well. That the deadline for that is January 12th. So TCF Center is more and more in hot water, and we'll see if they release that footage. I doubt they will. Okay. Representative Mo Brooks and 18 colleagues are requesting election fraud hearings before January 6th. Mitch McConnell is not very happy about this. Apparently, in a private call, he has warned those senators not to join a floor fight to support President Trump's extended assault on the election. AP, once again, with its biased reporting. So here's a copy of those senators. We've got Mo Brooks from Alabama, Andy Biggs from Arizona, Mike Rogers from Alabama, Jim Banks from Indiana, David Rooser from North Carolina, Paul Gosar from Arizona, Ted Budd from North Carolina, Lance Gooden from Texas, Brian Babin from Texas, Bob Gibbs from Ohio, Ralph Norman from South Carolina, Gregory Stube from Florida, Jody Heiss from Georgia, Mike Kelly from Pennsylvania, Jeff Duncan from South Carolina, Louis Gohmert from Texas, Randy Weber, Texas, Scott DeJarles, Tennessee, and Mike Garcia from California. So these congressmen have now ensured that they will be reelected in elections after this. So this is also some good news. Alabama Senator Elect Tuberville has said that he may back efforts to challenge the Electoral College vote on a fraudulent election. So last night he's a former Auburn football coach, and he was voted in this year to become senator in Alabama. He spoke at a rally in Georgia for Senators Perdue and Loeffler, and he said at one point that he would support an effort to challenge the stolen election on January 6th. So The Hill is reporting, and I want to read this part. This is just stuff I've already said, but Tuberville suggested he would back a challenge Rep. Mo Brooks has vowed to bring against the vote. If a senator joins Brooks, since Brooks is a congressman, it would require the House and the Senate to debate and then vote on the issue. So that would move forward the fraud hearings so that they would also become part of the Senate. Revealed, former Kemp staffer helped Dominion land a $107 million contract with Georgia. So this comes from Paul Sperry. He's a journalist for the Atlanta Journal and Constitution. And he found that Jared Thomas has become a Dominion lobbyist, and he is a former campaign manager and election staffer for Georgia Governor Brian Kemp when he served as Secretary of State overseeing elections. Here's a picture. It's very blurry, but here's a picture of Jared Thomas. Looks like he might have gone to the University of Georgia. Governor Brian Kemp's former chief of staff left Secretary of State's office and became a paid lobbyist for Dominion voting machines, helping it land a $107 million contract to run Georgia's elections. This comes from Paul Sperry. Conclusion. What is the connection between the SolarWinds raid earlier this week and the SolarWinds hack of the military-industrial complex? Now, they're saying that hackers got into SolarWinds. I am not so sure that's what happened. I don't think SolarWinds is in a very good position with these investigations and with John Poulos's poor performance as his testimonials earlier this week. And as we know, SolarWinds is connected to the deep state, China, Hong Kong, and Dominion, Hillary Clinton, and the Obamas. The TCF Center has yet to release the video footage. What I'm wondering is, how have they kept the footage from the press for so long? This shows the complete lack of curiosity of the press on what went on at this center. Biden ballot dump is crucial to understanding what went on, and this is a massive cover-up. Jared Thomas's connection to Dominion and Kemp suggests Kemp and Raffensperger may have gotten a major payoff to put Dominion machines in. There had to have been something in it for Kemp and Raffensperger. And as we know, Raffensperger has since switched parties to become a Democrat. That Raffensperger is Georgia's Secretary of State. If Tom Tuberville contests the January 6th election certification, the debate between the House and the Senate will likely lead to a House vote. Republicans hold the majority of states in the US, and as we know, each state gets one vote if the House is deciding on the next president of the United States, meaning that President Trump would remain president for the next 4 years. So some mixed news today. That's all I've got for you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.